Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker not mincing words, saying, quote, "Mr. President, do not come to Chicago. You are neither wanted here nor needed here." The Democratic governor was responding to President Trump, suggesting that he might send National Guards troops to Chicago, calling the city a, quote, "killing field." The Democratic governor says that there is no public emergency that would warrant the deployment of federal troops to the Windy City.
3 days later.
Good morning, Ainsley. Good morning, guys. So far, the numbers we have show 54 people were shot, 7 fatally. It usually takes a few hours for Chicago police to release the official numbers from the holiday weekend. But you compare those numbers to the 4th of July weekend, in which 44 people were shot, 6 were killed. This is the dynamic that Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says is not an emergency that warrants the intervention of federal troopers and the National Guard.
Crime always looks different when you're walking around with 24/7 armed security. Welcome to another installment of Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. If you like channel, like content, and what I do, you can support me with the link. Everything's appreciated. Online store is open. CGB20 will get you 20% off. Free shipping. Connecticut residents, you got to pay that sales tax. I have no say in the matter, but CGB20 will get you 20% off. Let's talk about this. In the aftermath of Trump sending troops into D.C. and literally curtailing the crime that is in that district, he is threatening to go to other Democrat-run bastions that have out-of-control crime, and one of the ones he's eyeing is Chicago. Now, immediately, the mayor of Chicago, who has a worse polling rating than the Democrats right now, immediately took to the airwaves to basically push back on Trump doing so.
Let's go. Let me hear you, Chicago. Let me get you a little bit more noisy out there. Yes. No federal troops in the city of Chicago. No militarized force in the city of Chicago. We're going to defend our democracy in the city of Chicago. We're going to protect the humanity of every single person in the city of Chicago. And we got the baddest freaking labor movement in the city of Chicago, birthed right here. Now finally, we have seen this president shift the largest concentration of wealth into the hands of the few. Justice Brandeis made it very clear. He said we can either have a democracy or we can have wealth in the hands of the concentrated few. But he says we cannot have both. Are you prepared to defend this land that was built by slaves, a land that was built by indigenous people, a land that is built by workers? Are you prepared to defend this land?
And also supporting that ideal, following right in line, is the Democrat Governor J.B. Pritzker.
Over the weekend, we learned from the media that Donald Trump has been planning for quite a while now to deploy armed military personnel to the streets of Chicago. This is exactly the type of overreach that our country's founders warned against. And it's the reason that they established a federal system with a separation of powers built on checks and balances. What President Trump is doing is unprecedented and unwarranted. It is illegal. It is unconstitutional. It is un-American.
As you saw in the beginning, the Governor Pritzker said that there was no emergency at all. Labor Day weekend, 50 plus people shot, 7 killed. But it's not an emergency. And do I have to go down rabbit hole? Why isn't an emergency there, Mr. Pritzker? Or JB? Could it be because the people being killed just don't seem to matter? I'm going to bring you back to Highland Park. If you remember that incident. That was the incident that caused him to want to have an assault weapons ban. When people have been killing each other in droves in the inner city of Chicago for decades, But now you need an assault weapons ban because Highland Park. That's not a good look, because that just tells me what is clearly obvious. But he's claiming that there's no emergency, yet once again, another weekend holiday in Chicago turns into a bloodbath. And it's funny that these politicians, especially those with an...
It's just gone from bad to worse to disaster.
No one really feels safe. It's impossible to feel safe in a city like this, especially with the leadership we have.
These kids are carrying guns like around the ages of 8 years old, and they're killing other 8-year-old kids with guns. It's insane.
My opinion, not enough police officers. The police officers' hands are tied.
So the police is really unappreciative offhand under Brandon Johnson, Lori Lightfoot, J.B. Pritzker. Those are three are the reason why nobody want to be a police.
Their policies when it comes to crime is not working at all.
Yeah, they're telling a different story, aren't they? And even some Democratic leaders in the city of Chicago are saying a different story.
Now, Willie Wilson, a Chicago businessman and one-time mayoral candidate, says the mayor, the governor, and the Democrat Party have failed the people in Chicago who live with the violence.
I support President Trump on this one. There's a lot of things I do not agree with what he might have done or going to do. But on this one here, crime, I support him 1,000%.
But yet, this is the elitist attitude. This is the elitist attitude that pretty much is prominent throughout Democrat-controlled cities and states. Everything's great because I don't feel the crime, because I don't see it. Everything's great. But you talk to the person on the street, it's ugly as it comes. But the real problem is that they're willing to let this crime keep happening, these shootings and all the other mayhem going on, when the teen takeovers, when unruly mobs of teens took over the streets in Chicago. They just want this to continue because, not because they're against it, it's because of whom is trying to solve the problem. If Biden had done this, Pritzker and Brandon Johnson wouldn't say two words about it. They'd be welcoming of it. You know, everybody's like barking about the National Guard being on the streets. And it's like, yeah, but did you have a problem with it when Hochul put them in the subway system? No. After Trump put his troops in D.C., what happened? D.C. went 13 days without a homicide. Crime plummeted. The Mayor Muriel Bowser, actually went to the airwaves to basically congratulate him on what happened.
We greatly appreciate the surge of officers that enhance what MPD has been able to do in this city. We know that when carjackings go down, when the use of gun goes down, when homicide or robbery go down, neighborhoods feel safer and are safer. So this surge has been important to us for that reason.
But Bowser went on to explain that the presence of masked immigration officers and National Guard soldiers from other outlets was not helping.
What we know is not working is a break in trust between police and community, especially with new federal partners in our community. We know having masked ICE agents in the community has not worked, and National Guards from other states has not been an efficient use of those resources.
Yet, here these people are, taking the 20% of an 80-20 issue, all because of the person who's trying to stop the crime. This is insane. 7 people are dead after this fool stood there days before saying that crime is down in the city. Crime is down. And the sad part is, if Illinois could remove Chicago from its gun violence totals, they would be in the bottom 10% of gun violence victims if they could remove just Chicago. Just Chicago. It is shocking to once again watch these people take a real world solution to a real world problem and turn it into politics. Pritzker even went further to try to claim that this was about the 2026 midterms.
Other aims are that he'd like to stop the elections in 2026 or, frankly, take control of those elections. He'll just claim that there's some problem with an election, and then he's got troops on the ground that can take control, if in fact he's allowed to do this.
As much as the left likes to say that the right likes to politicize things, well, here they are politicizing crime and fighting against preventing it because of who the person is that is trying to solve it. There is something seriously wrong with this. Once again, Trump has shown us that the Democrats are not serious. They are not serious. They're not serious about crime or anything else. It's all politics. But the troops are there. Let's see what happens. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time the video goes live. I'm going to see you on the next one. Peace.